Hey everybody, my name is Michelle and I'm a volunteer here at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, and today I have a list of very special questions that were sent to us by a kindergarten class in North Carolina. So I'm really excited to share all these questions and answers with you. We decided that we were going to release this as our weekly wolf talk. I'm super excited to share this with our special kindergarten class today. So check it out. So the wolves get fed about 3 to 5 pounds of meat each every day. Sometimes they get fasted because in the wild wolves don't eat every day, but they get a mix of chicken and beef. They get vitamins and minerals. Sometimes they get some pork, and then when we do have it, sometimes they'll even get some roadkill deer. Every wolf is different on what their favorite type of food is. Some of them like fish. Most of them really like beef and chicken though. One of the questions that you all had was if all of our wolves live together as one family, and they don't. So in the wild, wolf packs are families that do live together and they play together and everything. But here at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, all of our wolves live in pairs. So we have male and female pairs. So this is Raksha. He is one of our Arctic wolves. And then Chakra here, she's a gray wolf, but she's that black phase color. So they're one of our pairs, but we do have 20 wolves here. So we have approximately 10 pairs of wolves that live at our center. So what do Rhett and Scarlet like to eat? So their favorite food by far is going to be rodents, but they also eat a variety of other things like chicken, beef, eggs, and they also get kibble as well. Great question that we had is what do the wolves enjoy doing? So here I am with Diego and Dakota, our two Mexican wolves. That is Luna. And they all of our wolves really enjoy playing with their enrichment. So we're going to talk a little bit about toys coming up here in a moment, but they also really enjoy human interaction, at least the ones that we can go in with. So Diego and Dakota, they are our Mexican wolves, so they are actually an endangered species. And that's why they have different fencing, and we're actually not able to go in with them. So other things that the wolves really enjoy doing is definitely playing with each other. So these guys here, they have a nice enrichment item. It's a deer hide that you can actually see right here on the ground behind me. These two also enjoy just kind of watching what everything is, or everything that is going on, because they can actually see a lot from this area here at the center. So they enjoy being able to look at the tours. They can also see whoever's playing in the day spa over here, and just all sorts of different fun things. But in the summertime, we also offer our wolves different types of water to play in. So Nanook, in this video, you can see that he is playing very excitedly in some of his water. So they get these 75-gallon tubs every summer so that they can play in them and splash in them. And this is something that they really enjoy. And then of course we do lots of different types of enrichment, which we're just going to talk about here in a moment. So what kind of toys do the wolves like? So they get a lot of different types of toys in enrichment. So here in this video, you can see Chakra is playing with her tire, but it has some cat food in it. So she's really excited about that. We also do lots of toys. So Denali here, unfortunately he's not gonna play with his toy, but every time I get up or every time I try and film, he drops it. But he's got a little stuffed animal, just like your dogs would. They also get Kong toys. They get all sorts of toys like jolly balls. And they of course get lots of things tied to trees, so they can have different types of enrichment as well. So there's lots of different toys they do play with. Sometimes we give them rope toys trying to play tug-of-war, but they always win, and we don't get to keep playing tug-of-war more than once because they take their toy and they run off with it. All right. So I saw that another one of your questions was if our foxes are nice to people. And as you can see, Rhett and Scarlet and Zach and Zoe are all very friendly with people. So they're very friendly with people. However, unlike our wolves who really like to be pet and get attention, the foxes, they really just work for food. So they're only here for treats right now. And you can see they only want the chicken treats. They don't actually like kibble. So like I said, super friendly because they're well socialized, but just like all of the animals here, they do not make good pets, even though they're very, very cute. They just are here for education and to teach people about how wildlife does belong in the wild, as well as how bad things like fur farms are. So we're very happy that Rhett and Scarlet and Zach and Zoe all get to live here with us. So the question of if our wolves ever fight. So here at the center, our wolves don't really argue a whole lot. And the question, if our wolves ever get into fights. So fighting over attention, kind of what this is right here, is most of the time what we see with our wolves here at the center. We don't really see our wolves getting into actual confrontations just because they do live in those male-female pairs. So this jealousy that you're seeing, this is the most common thing that you're going to see with the wolves here at our center. So in the wild, wolves do sometimes get into fights, but it's usually going to be with other wolf packs. So if we were to start putting our wolves into different enclosures with each other that they don't know, then we might start getting arguments and fights. So whenever we introduce new wolves to each other, like Luna, who's only been here for a little over a year, she got introduced to Amarok using our introduction pen. So it's just an enclosure that is built next to another enclosure very, very close by so that they can see each other, smell each other, and then eventually we open one gate and they can go and sniff each other directly through a fence. So that's how we introduce our wolves here at the center and avoid fights. And then while we're in here, I also wanted to talk about where they sleep. So this here is a den that we have made for our wolves. And even though it's really cold out here right now, I think it's below freezing right now, in the wintertime, our wolves actually prefer to just sleep out on the ground in the snow. However, in the summertime, these dens stay nice and cool at about 60 degrees. So our wolves actually will spend most of their time in the summer hanging out right inside of these. All right, so one of the questions I saw on your list was asking if the wolves like the foxes. And Kenai here, he's actually the neighbor to our fox families. And Kenai is actually a little bit afraid of foxes. So kind of a fun story, when we got Zach and we carried his crate in to say meet Zoe for the first time, Kenai started doing something called buffing. And what that is, when wolves are afraid of something, they will make kind of a bark sound. I don't want to do it right now because it would probably scare Kenai. He is our big fraidy cat here at the center. He's afraid of almost everything, which is kind of funny because he used to be one of our most social wolves. But overall, our wolves don't actually get to interact with the foxes at all. But like I said, Kenai is their neighbor, and I can just tell you a little bit about him, that he's a little bit afraid of the foxes. You're such a good boy. Okay, all right. So one of the questions that you all had was, which wolf have we had the longest? And this here, this little girl, her name is Tala. This is Navi, and they are both our oldest wolves. So Tala here, she is going to be 16 in April, so we have had her the longest. And she's kind of cool because she goes along with one of your other questions on if any of our wolves have ever had puppies. And Tala over here, she is actually the only wolf that we have ever had born here at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center. So, hi Nuffy. So we don't breed our wolves. We are a non-breeding facility. The only animals that we do breed here are our swift foxes, Loki and Nebula. And we are hoping that we will have little fox kits this spring, but we don't usually breed our wolves. And the reason why is because any kind of reintroduction programs that do take place, we can just go catch wolves that are already in the wild and relocate them. That's what we've been doing here in Colorado. But Tala's mom, her name was Coda, she unfortunately went into heat a whole year early. So she ended up getting pregnant by another wolf named Kikoa at the time, who was just 2 weeks away from getting neutered. So she did get pregnant, and so Tala is our only wolf that we've had that was ever born here. She did have a brother, his name was Nakai, but he unfortunately has already passed away because again, they are our oldest wolves. All right. So you might be wondering where our wolves come from. All of our wolves do come from different places. So Nanook here and Raven, they are both from a different ambassador program. But we also have wolves that are rescues, like Amarok. We also have Luna, who is a rescue. Some of our other wolves have come from different zoos as well. And some of our wolves, like our Mexican wolves, were part of the cross-fostering program. So they actually were born in the wild, and now they live here at our wolf center. And then some wolves that were born in human care are now living in the wild, being raised out there by the wild wolves. All right, so a couple other questions is if our wolves prefer the summer or if they prefer it when it's snowing like it is right now. And our wolves definitely prefer this type of weather. They do just fine in the summer. Of course, wolves are native here in Colorado, so even if it can get up into the 80s sometimes, they still do really well, but they definitely prefer this time of year when it's nice and cool. They're a lot more active. You'll definitely see them running around a lot more. And of course, they have these big, beautiful coats on right now, whereas in the summertime, they shed all of their coats. That's my whole face. This is definitely the best time of year, not only to see the wolves, but this is also their favorite time of year in general. A really great question that you all asked was if we have any wild wolves that live around the center. Normally I would say no. However, Colorado has been reintroducing gray wolves to the state since 2023. So we do have 29 gray wolves that live in the wild in Colorado right now. And just recently, we actually had one of those wolves that was reintroduced in 2023 come all the way down here into Teller County where we are at. And she was actually spotted about 5 miles away from our center a few weeks ago. So it's really exciting. Hopefully she does head back up north for a little while so she can find a mate and a companion. So she can create a wolf pack, but we are still excited that we had a wild wolf come very close to us here at our center. Thank you all so much for sending in those really awesome questions. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you keep sending us some questions, and again, just thank you so much for watching our video. And if you want to check us out on the website, it is wolfeducation.org, and we will see all of you soon.